Hello and welcome to my Pokemon Journeys, episode 111, Mohn and Lillie, a reunion in the snow review. So we're in for a fantastic episode today, arguably one of Journey's best episodes so far. So this is going to be a Galar episode. There's word that mysterious Pokemon has been spotted in the Crown Tundra, so this is actually going to be our first time visiting one of the DLC areas. I still hope we get to see the Isle of Armor, but Ash and Go excitedly head off to a Crown Tundra to find a mysterious Pokemon, and get Kaharu to come along with them. In the meantime, we cut to the Aether family, in the middle of their search for Mohn. Lillie plays the piano, reminding Lusamine of when she played the piece Lillie is playing to Mohn, Lillie, and Gladion. This piano piece is something that binds the family, and also makes Lillie flash back to what she saw of Mohn from Zoroark's illusion in Sun and Moon. As she plays, Magina reacts, which points towards the Crown Tundra. An area that Gladion mentions lines up with their data. Mohn must be there. So our main trio makes their way to Freezington, where they talk to the mayor. He can't really tell what the Pokemon look like other than being white or yellow, or wait, was it both? He couldn't get a good look because of a blizzard, and it's currently blizzarding, and so he invites the kids to stay. The Aether family are actually caught out in a blizzard. It was a sudden change in weather, and they're really struggling, especially with Magina falling down, but luckily Gladion Zoroark saves it with agility. They call it night in a tent developed by the Aether Foundation. The next day the sun shines, and Magina points the Aether family to a house, which Lillie eagerly runs to and yells out to. God, this scene got me so bad. This is something that was built up all the way in Sun and Moon. This represents everything Lillie's been working towards. Her father is so close within reach, so when she gets there and hears the piano playing the tune, when Mohn walks out the door and she runs over and immediately hugs him, it's absolutely heartbreaking when he doesn't recognize her. It's even sadder when she thinks that the only reason he doesn't is because he knew her as a baby. And I knew there was probably going to be some amnesia at play, as that's what happens in the game, but it hurts even more than it did there. However, the amnesia is confirmed to the family as he doesn't recognize his old Zoroark, who jumps at and cuddles up to Mohn. He asks if Zoroark is Gladion's. Gladion calls him Dad. Lillie called him Dad. He doesn't know why Lusamine knows his name. He invites him in for tea, and they discuss the possibility as Mohn makes for tea that he's got amnesia. And that's when, again, they hear the piano tune. Mohn mentions he has a daughter who's also coincidentally named Lillie, which is just a complete shock to everyone. They go with him to see her, and that's when it's revealed that Lillie is actually a shiny Nihilego. God, this is so delightfully creepy. I kind of love how it plays into that one theory about Lillie being a Nihilego, but has kind of assumed her form and transforms back into its actual form, and I don't think Mohn can really tell the difference between Nihilego's actual form and the Lillie form. Gladion is ready to fight, but Lusamine stops him as Nihilego floats away. Lillie and Gladion take the time to look for clues while Lusamine talks to Mohn. We get back to the gang looking for a mysterious Pokemon, as Pikachu picks up a scent, which we know is Lillie, and they run towards Mohn's home. The piano room that Lillie goes to has some fantastic visual design, as there are some withering lilies hung up. There's a piano, so she starts playing as Nihilego watches. As it does, it remembers seeing a hurt Mohn calling out Lillie's name. Lillie opens a window and looks in a drawer. Gladion finds out that some mirrors have been removed or turned, as if to stop Mohn from seeing himself. In the drawer, Lillie finds Mohn's old Aether uniform and a mirror. This prompts Nihilego to attack, and that's when we get the epic reunion of Ash and Lillie, as Pikachu rushes in with a gorgeous animation cut to bat off Nihilego. Gladion runs into a room, and that's when we have a moment to catch up, both kind of explaining why they're there. Have Go and Kaharu kind of meet them, and that's when Lillie shows Gladion her mirror discovery. Lusamine tries to no avail to convince Mohn that he's her husband. She shows him a picture, but he doesn't see any resemblance, probably because he hasn't seen himself in so long. It's heartbreaking seeing Lusamine as destroyed as she is, and she's ready to reveal the truth about his supposed daughter, Nihilego. Nihilego tries to stop her, but Gladion saves her and Zoroark pins Nihilego down. As it gets ready to vanish, Lillie tells it to stop and thanks it, as they realise that Nihilego saved Mohn's life. Ash and his friends bring down Mohn's uniform, as well as a mirror. They talk about what happened to Mohn, his accident that he got pulled into an ultra wormhole. He starts to remember. They theorise that he encountered Nihilego and it returns him to his world, but not the Alola region, but the Crown Tundra, and then they start living together as a family. Nihilego's memories confirm this all is true, as we get to experience Mohn's memories through Nihilego, which prompts it to get him through an ultra wormhole where they find shelter, their new home. And this is the point where Nihilego assumed its role as his daughter. Nihilego kept the truth from Mohn by removing all reflective surfaces out of fear that they wouldn't be able to live together if he remembered who he was. However, Lillie and Gladion see that Nihilego cherished their father, which is just absolutely amazing to see. There's no malice, no anger for keeping them from him. They see it did its best to keep him safe while also gaining a family of its own. Gladion gets Mohn to look at a mirror, and then Mohn's memories come flooding back. And we get to see years he spent with Nihilego, which has the form of Lillie before transitioning to Nihilego in each of the scenes. I imagine this is to represent seeing each moment for how it really was, but we also get to see key moments of his life in Alola too. He remembers everything. He calls his family by name. They have a most well-earned and incredible embrace as he tells them he's home, with Ash Go and Kaharu watching on. When Mohn expresses he's shocked that Magina is active, Gladion credits Lillie for it, and oh my god, when he calls her his little princess, that really sealed that he remembers them. Absolutely fantastic emotional stuff. As Nihilego watches the reunion, it starts to leave, but Lillie stops it, calling the Nihilego Lillie. Mohn wants it to stay too, and invites it to live with them, which Lusamine and Gladion want too. It accepts their offer, and Gladion pulls out a beast ball. As a family, they all hold it, and Nihilego touches it and is captured, to which Gladion held it hard to the sky and smiles. Karu takes a picture of the family together. Oh my god, I love this episode. It's genuinely a contender for one of the best episodes of Journeys for me. It might be weird to say because this is arguably like the least Journeys episode there is. Ash and Go are here, but the focus is not on them at all. Lillie, Gladion and Lusamine are our leads, so if you haven't seen Sun and Moon, I think it's a problem that you won't understand the dynamics between characters enough to make it emotional. But as I have watched and adore Sun and Moon, it's actually a perfect way to conclude Lillie's hunt for her lost father. This could have went wrong in so many ways, but Beatty perfectly executed it. One aspect I need to touch on is the Nihilego. That species has caused so much trauma for the family, from how they tried to abduct Lillie to Lusamine being possessed. It's hard to blame Gladion for immediately being ready to attack it, as they may have done something horrible to Mohn. However, by the end of it, they come to terms with Nihilego and invite it into their family, as they see it was lonely and wanted one for its own, which prompted it to protect Mohn. It might have been misguided in what it did, keeping him from his family as memories, but it meant well, and seeing Gladion be the one to bring out the ball and become the likely owner of it, wonderful growth for him. He hated Ultra Beasts and wanted to defeat them, but here he is accepting it with open arms. It taking Lillie's form was based off Mohn's love for its daughter. Lillie recognises that, so especially seeing her being the one to ask Nihilego to stay first after what she's been through with them was amazing, and a moving scene. And as for Lusamine, she delivers a bit of a logical side, realising what Nihilego meant to Mohn in that moment, so don't attack it. It's great stuff that feels like it has a lot of depth. Also, the fact that Nihilego only attacks when its life with Mohn, someone who it cares for, is threatened, says a lot. It at first decides to hide from the family, which Mohn attributes to shyness, but takes an interest in Lillie and doesn't attack until the uniform is found. It doesn't attack Lusamine until she's about to reveal what Nihilego is. And sure, the Ultra Wormhole opening to the Crown Tundra feels kinda convenient, but I thought it was just a really fun way to time the fact that an Ultra Wormhole opens there in the game. This being where Mohn's character goes rather than just being the funny bean man in Pokepelago, with Lusamine and Gladion not trying to convince him to get his memories back is such an improvement. There's a really beautiful sadness in Mohn keeping his amnesia because of the happiness he has in his new life, but I wouldn't really think it's applicable to Sun and Moon's theme of family. Instead of letting Mohn go and keeping the family fractured, they do their best to bring him back in and invite a new member into it. I really couldn't ask for much more when it comes to a narrative. I think this is an episode where you can make a case for Ash not being needed at all. I think the reunion he has with Lillie and Gladion is wonderful. It actually feels a lot like Sun and Moon, where he just sort of pop in front of Gladion, but it doesn't really feel vital to the story. However, I wouldn't want a version of the episode without him, because seeing him get to experience reunion after helping out and meaning so much to the Aether family feels so bloody deserved. And this is just a great lesson for me about not building up a false expectation, because let me tell you, I really wanted Calyrex in the show, and a mysterious Pokemon of Crown Tundra fits the bill a lot, I think. But I didn't get too disappointed learning it was in Nihilego, and we delivered such a potent story, tying in all the Aether family's experience with Ultra Beasts and really moving them forwards. I'm so eager to find out what Lillie and Gladion will want to do with their lives next, now that they've reunited with Mohn. And that's something they couldn't have done with Calyrex. Not saying the expectations for myself let me love the phenomenal work they did to its fullest extent. So I love this episode, that's apparent. I'm just fully in the Alola mood now, so thank God we're going back to Alola next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, and thank you for watching.